Hello and welcome to Freedom Through Astrology, where we're giving you the keys to live your best life. It's freedomthroughastrology.com is the website. My name is Donald Patak. I am an astrologer. There's my contact information. This is copyright with a standard YouTube copyright, and I apologize for this being later than I wanted. I like to get this out on Sunday, but I had lost my voice on and off and tried piecing together something that sounded decent. Didn't work. So I finally have my voice back to be able to do this. Keys to the reading, I'm using what's called true sidereal astrology, which means I'm using the visible sky as opposed to tropical astrology. Tropical astrology fixes the signs to the seasons. I'm asking where are the planets in the constellations if we went and we looked outside on our own? Where would we see them? So that's why some of the signs and the planets and signs are going to be different. Also, I use the natural size of the signs. There are astrologers who use 30 degrees per sign. I let the constellations be their natural size. Virgo is almost in the realm of 48 degrees. She's huge. Um, Aries, Scorpio, less than around 25 and just under 25. But all the constellations in the visible sky are different sizes, so I use that. I also use 13 signs. The sign of Ophiuchus, the wounded healer. We're actually in Ophiuchus season right now. This was an ancient sign that was removed because it symbolized your ability to heal yourself and then heal others with similar wounds. They pulled that out. And we're looking at weekly transits. These are the universal lessons for humanity, what we're facing. I do not read the houses. I was asked why I don't read the houses because they are falling all over the place. If you want to know the houses, contact me and we'll set up an appointment for a reading where I'll actually read them for you as they apply to your house. I will warn you, it does take time. And last but not least, I read what's called evolutionary astrology, which says that these are lessons to learn. The planets, the constellations, these are teachers. These are lessons for you to learn. There's a high road and a low road, or I call it, there's the light path and there's the shadow. Um, you have freedom of choice, and you can choose how you want to work with these energies and how you're going to behave, etc. You don't control the outcome, though. So with that being said, the moon this week, kind of busy going from Scorpio all the way through Aquarius. We do get a bit of a pause, like decent sized break with Sagittarius, which is good. The new moon this week is in Ophiuchus on Tuesday. Mercury goes retrograde, which is reflection. And we'll talk about that later. Mars enters Ophiuchus, the courage to heal. Venus enters Libra, paradox of relationships. And the sun is active this week with the nodes and Neptune. There's a few other, excuse me. Hold on a second. There are a few other transits that are happening that are important, but these are the major ones. And like I say, let me pull this down. This is the overview of the week. As you can see, things are falling steadily throughout the week. So we're not getting giant clusters. It's a nice flowing week. And let's begin. This began on Sunday, ended Monday afternoon. The moon enters Libra. So it's a time to regroup, calm down for a moment, and being open to ambiguity and let things just be. Kind of almost like a go with the flow with the airflow. Libra is an air sign. Go with the flow, tolerate ambiguity. Things don't have to be picture perfect. And this will show you what else you need to learn. By doing that, you'll be opened up to seeing what else it is you need to learn so that you can make better decisions. And the shadow of this is wasting time in social situations and avoiding making decisions that can lead you to a place that you really don't want to go and don't want to be. So being too wishy-washy can be bad. It'll throw you out of balance emotionally. Also on Sunday, Monday ends on Tuesday. Mercury in Sagittarius in a sextile to Venus in Virgo. Be interested in learning new ways of working with people. This is a powerful time of learning new things and learning new ways of working with people, being interested in learning new ways with people. So look for new ways to interact with others and creative ways to make your relationships even more interesting and exciting, more fun. Learning new ways to be with people and have fun sounds like a good thing to me. Um, be careful because the shadow, there's the high road and the low road. Let's talk about the shadow of this. Shadow Mercury can be this talking know it all, and Venus in Virgo can be nitpicking on relationships and what did I have here? Smooth talking, hypercritical, negative. So you can be this know-it-all, like I know how to make you a better person. And you can't, the old, I'm gonna use a biblical analogy here, you're telling people how to move the speck in their own eyes, and here you've got this giant log in your own, not being able to see your own flaws. That just came to mind. I'll go with it. But this is that know-it-all who knows how to make everybody better but can't improve themselves. So this is really about you learning how to make yourself a better friend, I would say. So that goes in on Monday. The moon enters Scorpio. Be prepared for unsettling truths and be honest with yourself about what your wants and needs are. This can be a time of intense and deep moods, powerful conversations, uh, Scorpio, it's really easy for people to put a shadow here is that people can find out what your buttons are and push on them and pow. Especially with Mars ruling Scorpio, this can go boom real fast. Yeah, this is going to be a colorful one. I'm sorry. But uh, be open and be ready for powerful conversations that can be deep. And falling into a rotten mood and complicating things unnecessarily can create unnecessary and unwanted outward drama. So if you feel like people are pushing your buttons, that's because they want you to be their entertainment. Take, you know when to step back and step away, is what I'm going to say. And Tuesday, Mercury goes retrograde, and other astrologers are already picking panic show. What retrograde means is that when you're looking at the planet from the sky and you're looking at Earth, the way we're going, it looks like the planet's moving backwards from us. We're just moving faster than it in space. It's a time of reflection. So you're kind of looking at it and then turning backwards and looking. We're looking at the journey that we've taken so far. So that's what it means. Look at the journey that Mercury, your ability to learn and communicate, has taken in Sagittarius, learning new things and being open to new ideas. Are you learning new things that interest you and excite you and that bring you joy and happiness? Or are you just kind of doing the same thing and being a know-it-all? So take time to reflect on your learning, curiosity, intuition. Are you open or are you shutting yourself down thinking that you know it all? Falling into your shadow, it means you wind up doing the same old boring stories, learning nothing new, nothing interesting. And this is going to be Sagittarius is actually a pretty big transit. And given that it's retrograde, we're going to actually retrograde back into a fucus. So if you work with this healthy, you can bring some healing into your life and bring some change in and learn new exciting things. If not, it's going to wind up being a long, boring time with you telling the same stories over and over again. I wouldn't want that. And Tuesday, we have a new moon, and it's the new moon in a fucus. So this is a conjunction of the sun and moon. Take a time for a little TLC with yourself and others because the purpose, the sun is the ego, the moon, the emotions, and a fucus, healing. This is the two parts of you coming together to heal and to bring deep healing and transformation. And see on other people who are struggling with the same issues that you are, see you as a point of inspiration. You might find people going through the same struggles and you see how they heal and it brings inspiration to them as well. So that's the highlight, is that this is an opportunity for deep healing and great healing and for you to be able to inspire others to healing. The shadow of this is becoming more egotistical, moody, and deepening the wounds, or becoming proudful. See how I'm healing? And I don't know where that came from. um, and actually deepening wounds and creating more injuries. So this is a time potentially of great healing or deep wounding of the ego and of your ability to feel. And what did I have anything else in there? No. Actually, I forgot to post that on the site. I'll have to remember to put that in. Later on Tuesday, this is incredible with the way this kind of work, this new moon works out. Is as that new moon is approaching, we have also the sun in Ophiuchus trining the north node. So it's the healing of the ego, and the north node is an evolutionary destiny point. This is the high road. This is you evolving and growing into this higher person. In Pisces, Pisces is about transcending and releasing. This is a trine, so this is an easy energy to work with. So this is a great opportunity, and it can be a little bit, and it can be easy for you to transcend those wounds and to release them and let them go. And with the new moon and the sun and the moon also will have a quick hit on this as well. So this is the potential of great healing, a great time of transcendence, seeing and being able to separate the wounds. Is being able to separate from yourself from the wounds so that you can transcend them and leave them behind and let them go. That's really powerful. The shadow of this is numbing yourself to the pain of being wounded and wallowing in it and deepening the wounds. So that's the shadow of Pisces, is numbing, escaping, trying to escape this time. I don't want to deal with it. And however you numb yourself with whatever, without whatever way, and numbing yourself can be burying your nose in a book and not wanting to do what you're supposed to do, or watching or binge watching TV, or binge watching video games, whatever you use to escape. You're using it to escape the pain of healing. There is always pain in healing. I severed a tendon in my hand, and going through and learning how to reuse my hand wasn't easy, and it did hurt, and it was frustrating. Things weren't going the fast ways I wanted, but eventually I've got the use of my hand back pretty good. I mean, I'm real happy with the progress over the years, and remembering to do the exercise and stuff, and that I have good use of my hand and stuff. It took time, but yeah, it's possible, and it's exciting. Okay, personal story aside, yeah. And on Wednesday, the sun in Ophiuchus is in a sextile to the south node. Now, the trine to the north node was easy, and like, wow, this is cool, I can do this. The sextile, the south node, sextile is an excitement. So the sun in Ophiuchus is healing, is excited about what? Leaving behind that nitpicking perfectionist and that hypercritical attitude. You're not doing that right. You know, when you're saying doing something, am I doing that right, man? I screw everything up and junk like that. That type of negativeness and that type of negativity and pessimism, you have an opportunity to leave that behind. This is an excitement that, hey, I can transcend these wounds and leave that critical self behind and evolve into a higher person, which is great. The shadow of this is that dark critical voice becomes even louder, the wounds become deeper, and you want to numb yourself to the pain. Not a good thing. So that's the shadow. And like I say, a key point in evolutionary astrology is you have freedom of choice. You can choose how you want to work with this. And also on Wednesday, and that also on Wednesday, Moon enters Sagittarius, and this is cool. Sagittarius, kind of a happy sign to me personally. Be open to fresh and new and exciting things into your life. New experiences can be invigorating and bringing new spice to your life. So here you got a little bit of emotional energy to do that deep, that healing, and transcending the wounds and leaving that bitterness behind and exploring what new things can come into your life. That's really cool. I like that. The shadow of this is you can fall into a self-righteous mood, this know-it-all mood, and that leads you nowhere fast. It's like running on a treadmill. Great, you can run on a treadmill for half an hour. Where have you really gone? Nowhere. So this is running yourself on an emotional treadmill. And it leads you nowhere fast. And nobody really might be impressed. I don't know. Thursday the 14th, Mars in Scorpio is in a trine to Chiron retrograde in Pisces. Mars in Scorpio is the courage to dig deep and and Chiron is healing. Retrograde, you're reflecting on your healing and your ability to heal and transcend. Pisces is your ability to transcend things and transcend what? Chiron, woundedness. So you're digging deep and looking deeply into your ability to see, looking into how are you transcending your spiritual woundedness. Knowing, trying, this is an easy time to do it, and knowing that you can do it and that you can do this deep work. The shadow of this is being angry about the injuries and therefore making them worse. Or Mars, the other shadow of Mars is being a coward, not wanting to look at the wounds and not wanting to do the work and not wanting to look, etc. And again, that deepens the wounds. They don't heal. And you can want to numb yourself and escape. So that's the shadow of that. Yeah, there's a lot of possibility of healing this in this week. Friday, Mars enters a Fucus, and this is the courage to heal. Mars is the ancient ruler of a Fucus. Chiron's the modern ruler. So again, that trine from Thursday does feed into this. So, and what came to me when I was rehearsing this was healing the wounded warrior. I thought, hey, well, cool, I got to remember that. So this is the courage to heal your inner wounded warrior, but courage to heal your wounded warrior, courage to do that deep healing, to receive that knowledge so that you can heal yourself and serve as an inspiration to others who have that similar wound. The shadow of Mars is anger at being hurt, which makes the wounds even worse and dripping the wounds even deeper. Or the other shadow of Mars is cowardice. I should have put Mars in here too, because it's just so much. I'm getting through this and I still have enough voice to get through it, so I'm going to finish this up. But Mars, the shadow of Mars is cowardice, and cowardice facing these wounds you don't want to, so the wound just sits there and festers and never heals properly, and you leave this an even more wounded warrior. So there's that. And the moon on Friday enters Capricorn. Good old practical Capricorn. I like Capricorn. The moon in Capricorn, it's time to take a challenge and seek a sense of accomplishment. Mars in a Fucus, the sense of accomplishment of healing. I'm just going where it goes. So this is a sense of accomplishment. You need an emotional win. With the moon in Capricorn, you want to do something and you're ready for an emotional win and a sense of accomplishment. Embracing self-discipline can help you bring that sense of success. You're looking for an emotional victory here. The shadow is trying to control others or the outcome. Controlling other people to lead to a certain outcome that you want to have is the shadow of this, and you're not going to get it. And if you do, it's like drinking unsweetened lemonade. Even I like a little sweetness in my lemonade. It's bitter, but Saturday, Sun in a Fucus is in a square to Neptune in Pisces. Sun in a Fucus healing the ego. Neptune in Pisces. Neptune in Pisces is transcending spirituality. The thing that came to me, I was watching this video that Stephen Forrest was talking about. He was talking about Neptune in Pisces is don't just do something, sit there. That's his quote. So, then squares are challenge. And Neptune in Pisces can be, what are your spiritual practices? And this is the challenge of uptaking your spiritual practices so that they can bring healing to the ego. So this is spiritual healing. This is doing the spiritual healing that can lead to the healing of the ego. And it's a challenge. Squares are challenges. And my favorite analogy about squares, when you look at the pyramids, pick your culture, whether it's the Mayan, the Aztec, there are other pyramids that they're discovering, or the great pyramids in Egypt. From a distance, they look like triangles, but when you get close up, they're built on squares, and that's a tension, and that tension builds strength. So if you do this work and you work through the challenge of doing your spiritual practices, you're going to bring strong healing. But if that gets out of whack, everything comes down, and you can you can actually drive the wounds deeper. Can also practice numbing yourself, which is going to numb yourself to any healing that could have happened. So that's the other shadow. Falling in delusion, escapism lead to deeper wounding. Escaping into the world instead of from the world to numb the pain will lead you to a maze of confusion and deeper pain. So trying to escape your spiritual practices is all that spiritual practice that can bring healing is just going to be a disaster, just going to lead to more of a wounded ego. So there's that. 15, 16, 17. Saturday, Venus enters Libra. Take a deep breath and be open to contact connection with others and balance it out. Libra, the scales, the only astrological symbol that's not a living entity, really. It's scales. It's about balance and balancing your relationships with people or creativity as well, because Venus does rule creativity. But my notes are on, I don't know why that came to me. I'll have to delve into that deeper when I blog on it later this week. But it's a time to be open to connection with others, balancing, accept paradoxes that people have. Also accept your own paradoxes. None of us makes perfect sense. Embrace the paradox. That's what makes life so great. So this is a time of being able to embrace the paradoxes in yourself and in other people and make greater relationships in a way. Be open to others, let them talk as well. Ask questions and listen. Great time for reflection. The shadow is ignoring others and not listening to them, lead to relations become stale, boring, and drifting apart. And then falling off the scale and things get out of balance and blah, life stinks. And then Sunday, oops, let me move this down. Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius and trying to Jupiter retrograde in Aries. And I'm going to unpack this on levels. Jupiter in Aries is having the courage to dream big. Mercury in Sagittarius is exploring new things. So when you put them together, Jupiter wants you to have the courage to explore these big ideas that it's come up with. In retrograde, you're now reflecting. Are you exploring those big ideas? Are you digging into them? What else do I have here? Also, how are you communicating? How are you communicating with others? How are you listening to your dreams? Are you listening to your aspirations? Jupiter can also be your hopes. Are you having the courage to dream big? Are you exploring? Are you exploring what your big dreams are? And how are you exploring them? So that's what this is. And retrograde means it's a time of reflection. Take the time. What are your real dreams? Are you really exploring them? If yes, how are you exploring them and how can you make it better? If they're not, why not? And then what can you do to change the path? I've been dealing with quotes from Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven, and also that, I think it's a Robert Frost poem, The Road's Less Taken. There came to these two paths, and there was the road not taken. There's the path that everybody took, and there was the road less traveled. And I chose the road less traveled, and my life has been different. Jupiter in Aries is that road less traveled, having courage to pursue your own dreams. Are you pursuing your own dreams? I think that's the question. And also on Sunday, tying into this theme, Moon is entering Aquarius, and Moon it's time to be free from your expectations of others emotionally. You want to feel free to be yourself and feel drawn to people who are a little free-spirited, and be open to those free-spirited people. And maybe open to your free-spirited self. And if you do it in your home, fine. If you do it in public, great. If you find yourself around free-spirited people, enjoy it. But following the crowd and doing what is safe will lead you dull, dry, boring, and feeling empty. So that's kind of how we're ending the week. And I believe that ends on the 18th or the 19th. I forgot to write it down in my notes. Do follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I have links on my website at the bottom of the page. You can click on there, it takes you right to it. Uh, Digital Soul Space is a new place that I found, which is very interesting. Where we, it's a spiritual place, kind of like a spiritual Facebook. All sorts of modalities, all sorts of practices where it's open to ask questions, and people there are great with answers and friendly. I have a note here to remember the site, so I do want to jump to this really quick. So if you do go to freedomthroughastrology.com and you click on subscribe, you can subscribe to the newsletter. Can I click on that? Yep. And it's a once a week new email newsletter where I give you some of the major astrological events of the week, astrological insight, exclusive subscriber only discounts and offers, and information. I do any live appearance and events, etc. I'm also working with a business coach, whatever. Expect changes to the websites, improvement to the websites, new offering as far as packages and readings and stuff. So all sorts of exciting stuff coming up. If you want to schedule an appointment, if you click on scheduling, this is where you schedule a live one-to-one. I do birth chart readings, karmic or a past life reading. And the transit readings are the predictive readings. That's where I tell you what lessons, what we kind of take what we just, that the pot, this video cast, whatever you want to call it, is about, and I apply it to your personal life. So I do it for a month, 3 months, or quarterly, or a year long. And our schedules don't line up. I do the same things with recordings, and with the recordings, for the with the exception of the quick six reading, there is a follow-up to excuse me, there is a follow-up to the reading. So you'll get a recording, and then I send you a coupon code, and you book a follow-up session, and you ask me questions, and I give you clarifications. So there's that. Back here. And last but not least, slideshow, current slide. I didn't get, and a lot of people expressed their condolences to me about the loss of buttons. I have not had the opportunity to respond to everybody. It's been a busy week, and a bunch of other things came up. But I do want to thank everybody. Buttons was a nice little blessing, and to everybody that did express the condolences, either publicly or privately, thank you very much. So if I don't get back to you, this is me publicly saying thank you. I really appreciate it. All the support did make it easier to get through. So thank you. Do like, follow, share. Have yourself the best week possible. Actually, I wanted buttons up there. And technology is escaping me today. Zoom here. Everybody have a good week. I'm done fighting technology.